hey, Christian, how's your son?
He's awesome.
How's your job? How's whatever? And we're talking about the things that are important to you.
Yes.
And then I'm like, hey, Christian, the computer says you're due for an alignment, whatever.
Okay.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's the object? Well, what bag of BS do I need to have to overcome an objection? Like,
I'll do it next time.
Hey, Christian, you need brakes. Like, if I have rapport and trust and I'm actually genuinely advising you like you were somebody I cared about, objections shouldn't come into the equation. If you're getting objections, you're doing something wrong earlier in the process.
Yeah. So I think that's at the end of the day, the lesson on that is what you just said. So I classify that as something you've been talking about a lot lately, the symptom, not the cause.
Yes. Good point.
Thank you, sir.
Good point. So you're either not building enough rapport, they don't trust you, you're trying to get them to do something they probably sense that they don't really need, or you're telling them too late in the process because you're not communicating. One, because you're not over communicating, or two, because you're writing too many ROs and you just don't have time.
Both are very
like
common.
I had a strategy session the other day, and they have the advisors writing customers every 10 minutes. I said I would go to 20 minutes and give them time to call. And they're like, no, you know, it's like, well, they're human. Like, you got to give advisors enough time. It's our job as leadership to create a scenario and outline an architecture that they can thrive inside of that architecture, but we can't expect them to perform when we're setting them up for failure at every turn.
That's right. So let's say, just in that instance, and this is one of the things that I've done the math for people and it never makes sense. So they say it's going to be every 10 minutes is the appointment for the advisor, right? So let's say that on average an advisor works a 10-hour day. They do 6 appointments an hour. How many ROs could they theoretically write a day?
7 million.
60. So just under 7 million. But my point to that is that even your busiest advisors, right, 30 a day, which technically could be a 20-minute interval. Now they'd be writing tickets a lot, but you could do 30 and still have a 20-minute interval. It doesn't have to be a 10-minute, and I think that is, from someone that's written tickets, every 10 minutes, you don't even have time to breathe.
Here's the thing I know, that writing 25 a day for me, I made a lot of mistakes. I forgot to do a lot of stuff. I definitely wasn't following up. Right. And it's just not scalable, especially when you can't get the work done and you write 25 a day. Like, the production doesn't match the demand, and the advisors are stuck in the middle, and we think it's training or sales or overcoming objections, but really we got to build a better production capacity.
If you write 25 a day and you have a backlog problem in the shop, could you imagine making 15 your car's not going to get done calls today? Every day.
That was my life.
Yeah, it's miserable.
It was miserable.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No, it was hard. The dispatcher threw my ROs in the alley.
Yeah. I like that only because it's a great story.
The best part.
That's the same one that drank the coffee?
Well, it wasn't coffee. So it's funny, another advisor there pointed this out to me. I didn't figure this out on my own. But that dispatcher was always there and made coffee. But then he always had a thermos next to him. Ends up the thermos had whiskey. It didn't have coffee.
Yeah.
And that's why he was pissed all the time, probably. I don't know. He's drinking early. He was worthless. Worthless.
I
wish I could go back and, I was new and I didn't know what I was doing, but now it just lacks total common sense.
Yeah, there's no way he added value to the business.
Can't believe that dealership's still going.
Did a strategy session with them a couple years ago. You remember that?
They didn't show up.
Oh, was that what it was?
They're happy in their
misery.
So I think you should work on the process. I think you should work on building rapport. But really, recommending service isn't a hard sell.
Yeah.
You don't need a script. You just need to genuinely care about people and recommend what they need. Have your tech, have your techs believe that you're going to present the work, so they will actually inspect it, which will save your customers a lot of pain and money in the long run if you catch things before they become a catastrophic breakdown. And
for the love of Pete, tell people before they're about to walk out the door what they need to do.
For the love of Pete, call them while they're at work so you can still do it before they show up.
That's right.
Jesus.
Give them a sec.
What kind of trauma have you had in your childhood that you think it's okay to tell them when they get there?
Terrible trauma.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driver Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.